Do you remember a time where hip hop and punk and skateboarding were together?
Yeah, I'd liken that more to early 90s.
Give it to me.
So in the 80s, all the skate parks that I went to back then were mostly in LA and San Diego.
Gotcha.
And
you were originally from?
I'm from San Diego.
Gotcha.
I still live in San Diego.
I gotcha. Okay.
But LA's a drive, and we would go to my dad would drive us to Reseda, Pomona, Marina Del Rey, whatever. But the soundtrack at those skate parks was always just punk rock music. Always.
Gotcha.
So that was the soundtrack to skateboarding as far as I was concerned. And then I would say after all the parks kind of closed, there was still that vibe. There was definitely like a skate punk genre that had emerged from all that. But then skating kind of went underground in the streets. A lot of East Coasters were more street bound.
Yeah.
That's when the hip hop really took over.
Gotcha.
Right. So New York, Zoo York, Shut.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang was everywhere at every skate event.
And what's crazy is hip hop and punk and skating are pretty rebellious acts.
Yeah.
When you look at, I would say 70s, 80s, even early 90s, the expectation was you go to high school, you get a good job, or you go to trade school or college. You played it pretty safe on War to the American Dream. But the kids that were into punk rock, hip hop, and skating were rebellious. What fueled, I guess, your rebellion? Because you get fucking your skateboard took, you get fucked with enough and bullied.
Yeah.
Most people fold and say, fuck it.
I think it's just because what it provided me, that I never felt accomplished in anything like that. I never felt like, I don't know, that sense of satisfaction and pride and confidence. I couldn't find that anywhere else. And I always found it in skating. And so as much as I got bullied, I would just sort of zero in and lock in on my skating, and that was enough.
So Tony's here. You obviously fall in love and become obsessed. What is your day like? Are you just like, let me get this school shit through? I got some ideas I want to try.
Like back then?
Yeah. Were you?
School bell rang. I was trying to get a ride to the skate park.
Yeah.
Until they closed. And both my parents worked, so try to get a ride home from them. As soon as the lights went out.
Did you get in any trouble skating? Or did the community keep you count up?
Yeah, I mean, I had my share of trespassing tickets and stuff like that.
Right.
Hopping fences, getting in pools.
Shit. Yeah, the rebel shit. No skating here.
But it was because the park started closing and we had nowhere to go. And so it was just like, we got to find something.
So what happened? Was there a swell of popularity and parks happened?
Yeah.
And then popularity shrank and they start closing? Or did cities expanding or towns?
It was more that the popularity started to shrink and the insurance costs skyrocketed.
Gotcha. What kept you engaged if it started to shrink?
I got lucky. I lived near one of the last parks that remained.
Yeah.
Del Mar Skate Ranch in San Diego. I mean, it was like one of 4 parks of all the U.S. So I just got super lucky.
Gotcha.
But we built our own ramps, and we to steal wood from construction sites, and someone would build a ramp in their backyard and the neighbors would get pissed, and like a month later someone else would build one. It was just like playing whack-a-mole. Trying to skate.
I love the fact that kind of like when you hear, say, Outkast and who just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, congratulations guys, when you hear those guys talk, you hear about them being in this crawl space that's a basement where it was still dirt floors and organized noise beating on machines. They were determined to do it regardless. There was a self-sufficiency in hip hop.
Oh yeah.
And skating has this
DIY.
Yeah, because people are building their own ramps.
Yeah.
People are like, how much did that teach you? Like in terms of
it taught me everything. I mean, my whole approach to life is everything I learned from skating, and the fortitude and the perseverance and overcoming challenges, or just trying to subvert to doing something a different way.
Yeah.
And that's everything.
Yeah. So the consistency of getting up and trying again. I guess that's the life lesson that I
in anything.
Yeah, I pull my kid, Malik, my oldest son, gets introduced to skating at 9 years old. He wants a board. I buy him a board. I remember I bring it to him for Christmas. I feel terribly guilty because I have to spend so much time on the road learning how to be an artist under the greatest rap group ever with these guys, Outkast. My kid, as I come back each week or weekend, is getting better and better and better. And I don't know where he ranks in skateboarding now, but what I know is he loved it so much. He never got in any trouble because of it. The trouble he did get into, I was more like your dad. Like, what the fuck are you fucking with him for? He's skating, you know? And he gets hit by a car the day before he graduates. He gets hit by a car. He goes into the hospital and refuses to stay because he wants to make his mom and me and his family proud that he graduated. And he skated to and from his graduation. I was like, it's fucking amazing.
That
man.
is wild.
And he has bruises and shit, but I have always appreciated skateboarding for that. And when I was in a stumbling part in my career, there was an artist named Yellow Wolf from Alabama.
Yep.
He's an amazing rapper and entertainer, but he skated on Dobbins Block up in him and a guy named Newport, his best friend. They all as a big community just kind of took me in. I ended up recording an album there with LP about a year or two later, and we became Run the Jewels not long after. So skating has meant a lot to me, even though I've only been on the board twice in my life, long enough to say this ain't for me.
I feel like there are a lot of people that are in the orbit of skating that just appreciate what it represents.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily do it a lot or do it at all, but identify with the ethos of it.
I played the shit out of Tony Hawk too, though.
Shit,
I
Lil
appreciate
Wayne.
that.
I was fucking crazy.
Thank you.
Lil Wayne's skateboarder, right? Lil Wayne. The rapper?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. He's how good of an ambassador is it when how good he's been a hell of an ambassador. I'm telling you, on the black kid side, I saw a lot of kids come out the skateboard closet. Like, I don't give a fuck, we skate.
Yeah.
But how dope has it been to see kids from cities that you wouldn't normally associate with skateboarding in Atlanta to do
the best.
it? It really is.
Yeah. It's unreal.
Stratosphere was a store that was here. Rest in peace to Thomas, who was the owner. His son's a pro. But Thomas kind of became an adoptive uncle, like to my kid. He gave him good advice. He was gruff as shit, though. Thomas could be gruff.
Yeah.
But you could tell he really loved the fact that
Thomas Taylor.
Yep. And he was a great guy, man.
Yeah.
I would talk to him.
His son is an insane skater.
Incredible.
Grant Taylor.
At their house over in East Atlanta, you go in the back and there's just like what do you call it, a bowl or whatever the fuck. It's just him and a bunch of guys back. This when his dad was alive. I was like, this kid he's in heaven.
And he can skate anything too.
Yes, it's right in East Atlanta.
Really?
Yep. Grant is amazing. And his dad was a hell of a man and a hell of an ambassador for skating.
Let me ask you something. How do you deal with the younger kids and maybe kind of a little disrespect? Because I know you probably got it. Because I know we get it in our game. Like you the OG and we knew we better or we more whatever.
Oh, I'm just so old. I'm so far past it. You know what I mean? It's
you going skating tomorrow though?
Yeah, but it's more like I what do you say? It's more like, yeah, you'll be lucky if you get to skate as long as I have.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're ripping. You're absolutely, you're right. But you're too old to skate. And I was like, I hope you get too old to skate.
Right.
I wish that for you, like, because it's amazing.
But I mean, do you kind of get that though? Like a little disrespect or a little pushback kind of?
I get more just because I'm more of a vert skater. I'm the name that they know from the video games. So there's always that hanging over me where it's like, okay, we got to pick on him.
Damn.
But I got harassed so much as a kid that it's almost like I already went through all that.
Okay.
And now you're not really going to phase me. Like I don't want to say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but I definitely had those experiences firsthand. And then when it came to say social media and people are talking shit, I was like, you're not even here in the room. Who cares?
Right.
Other genres aren't like hip hop either. Hip hop kind of, you get a certain age, you're like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. it's like,
you know what? I kind of went through the fire because it was more like I think I was probably skating my best in my 30s and 40s, honestly. And then it was kind of like, whoa, he's still skating.
Yeah, I feel.
And then it was more like I went through that, and then it was like, well, he's pretty good for his age.
Well, I guess what it is.
So it's kind of like it was a negative thing, and then became a positive thing.
I guess what it is, like you're saying with hip hop, the kids make records today act like it's all their ideas. Like this shit didn't come from like that's what I'm saying. Like in that sense, like they just act like, oh, we just we made this shit up.
What's the different styles of skating?
Yeah, because you say you're a vert skater.
Right. So I mostly skate ramps, half pipes, and that was...
Those are the ones that are shaped like the U where you do this.
Yeah.
Correct?
So that was born out of skating pools.
Drop-ins.
So when I first started skating, you either skated pools or you skated freestyle. And freestyle was just flat. And flat meant there were no kickflips back then. So if it was like you were doing handstands and 360s and pirouettes and walking the dog, and
I remember
I wanted to
walking
do the
dog.
cool stuff. I wanted to fly out of the pool. So I chose to do pool skating. And then as skating progressed and people found how to use other terrain, street skating emerged from that. So now it's, I would say the disciplines people considered skateboarding are, freestyle, but that's still more niche. Street skating, which is using handrails, using ledges, and then park skating, which is pools and street kind of, any sort of
benches,
banks, ramps, stuff like that. And then vert skating, which is what I do.
What is vert skating seems very scary.
Yes and no. I mean, vert skaters are mostly wearing pads. I'm always wearing pads, right? So I know how to fall safely. So that's how I'm able to do this at my age, honestly. Yeah. And there's an element of when you're skating a ramp that's say 13, 14 feet tall, your movements can be slower. Your adjustments aren't as exaggerated as when you're skating small stuff. I know sounds weird, but like smaller stuff to me is more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the sweet spot for landing is minuscule. And if you don't hit it right, you're either on the ground or you're hitting, somewhere bad. So,
but on the big ramp,
it's just like a big slide, and I got all this room and
Place.